Hi Frostube, it's Diane. Thought I'd do an update video. It's been 2-3 weeks, something like that. I'm going to start by just showing a table runner I made a few years ago, and I'm going to ready to put out Tom the turkey. So this is Dresden plate, and then you put this on and all this applique. This is the first time I did the quilting on my own home machine, so I tried to get feathers in here. I don't know. It wasn't bad for my first try. And I think this was a Missouri Star Quilt Company tutorial. On here, I tried to do leaves. Can you see it better from the back? Maybe you can see it better from the back. I did leaves across those squares. And then here's Tom the turkey. So you see I kind of outlined the feathers. And then this is all that orange. And then I kind of squiggled around his neck. And does he have a tie on? Yeah, he has a tie on. So I didn't do anything on the tie. So I just kind of squiggled on his body. And then on the feathers I did this. And then the big feathers. And there's his feet. 1 foot, 2 foot, and then I kind of squiggled around them, meandered, and then put kind of a loop-de-loop in the border. So it's not too bad. It was my first time doing that. So I wish I could have table runners on my table, but my kids spill. This would always be in the wash. I mean, it's washable, but I don't remember the line of fabric. It was just some fall fabric when I did it. So, yeah. Thought I'd show that. And then, my son, who hasn't been sure what he wants for his quilt, because I'm trying to do a queen size quilt for all my children. This is child number 8 I'm talking about. This is the one I'm going to do for him. Fractured Star by Judy Niemeyer, I think is how you say her name. Quilt Works. It's Timeless Treasures. I'll try and link this below if I can find a link for it. Quilt Works. Yeah, it's Judy. Her name just isn't on here. That's weird. Judy Niemeyer, I think is the designer. Yeah. Judy Niemeyer quilting. And I guess that these can be done in 2.5 inch strips. And this is all just background here. And then 2.5 inch strips. And it's foundation paper piece, so that's what all this thickness stuff is. I have done foundation paper piecing and I don't mind it. I mean, you have to get up and down a lot to iron, which is not bad. I mean, I didn't count it as my cardio. There you go. Yeah. It's supposed to be approximately 80 by 80, which is a small queen size, but that's what I'm going to be doing for him. So that's all my quilting updates, cross-stitch updates. There's a lot. Oh, pause 1 moment, please. Okay, I forgot I had to finish and I forgot to grab her. So, Miss Black Swallowtail by Nora Corbett. I have the pattern in here somewhere, but yes. See all her bling and her wings? That's beads and Krennic. Or actually I use a Petite Treasure Braid. So Petite Treasure Braid, and then this all here, that's beads. She has beads all down her tail, her head dress. This is 28 count Rubius by Picture This Plus. So she joins her sisters, which I know how I'm going to finish her sisters. Solar Ellipse and Lowly Daggerwing. I have those 2 done also, and I know how I'm going to finish them. I just haven't finished them. So that's all the finishing I did. The stitching I did before Galleria, I pulled this piece out to focus on it. I have a lot of stuff here. I didn't take it out of the bags. I made crinkles. Just be forewarned. Ink circles, garden stars. I do not think that this is on 1-2-3 Stitch anymore, but it's still in print, so you can get it. It's all DMC, 27 different colors. And last time I showed it, I had all of this part done. So all this was done. And I've added motif, 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 and I'm working on this big guy, and I've added this one, I think. Yeah, these are done. So all this was done. 32 count. It's a cream or an ivory. I lost the tag. But it was a round robin, and I did the biggest one, this guy, as an anchor first before I sent it out. And I thought, well, that way everything's washable. Everything's 100% washable. And I asked the ladies to put their initials by whatever motif they stitched. So there's some initials in here. But this is where it is at now. So I added this guy, this one, and this one, this guy, this little one, and then there's a big guy down here. Oh, I forgot. And this guy added. This one, did I stitch that one? Yeah, I had that one done. This was stitched by another stitcher. She has her initials in there. And this was stitched by another stitcher. So I'm getting it done. This big one right here is the one I'm working on now. Because if I get this done, I can count $64 to stitch from stash. I went to Galleria, people. That would be really nice. I did not bring that one to Galleria because I didn't want to have to count a lot. What I did bring and worked on, I brought 3 projects. I worked on one that I brought, and then I started a new one that I bought at Galleria. The one that I brought, that I did stitch on, was Family Tree. And I think it was Friday, the first day. I just worked on the border because it was a straight border, just single stitch line, and then I could talk and everything and not have to worry about counting. So that's what I did, but I had worked on it a little bit before. Last time I showed it, it didn't have any of the center tree done. So here it is. So I worked a little bit on this tree before I left for Galleria, and I had to take this out several times. That's why I didn't want to work on the tree while I was at Galleria, but I did actually. Saturday I worked on it. So this leaf and like this part of the branch and this leaf, and I'm working on another leaf there. So the tree is in 3 pages, so this is getting toward the end of the first page, and there's another branch down here. I'm just going to do the tree first, and there's words and a heart. I'm going to do the tree first. But this border is going to have 3 lines of color. I finished all the blue around the entire thing, and now I need to just do that outer border. So it's great to bring when you want to talk and you don't want to have to count. Yeah, but here it is. 36 count flax is what I'm stitching it on. And so I did actually put a chunk of stitches in this one because I got that whole border done, which I probably had a little over half of that blue done before we went. The other 2 projects I brought, didn't stitch on them. But I started one that I bought. I'll show that in a little bit. But on our way out of town, we left on Wednesday. I think it was the 18th. And I had my youngest 2 daughters with me. One age 16 and one age 11. I was only going to bring the 11-year-old. But then I thought, well, the 16-year-old with all the boys? Yes, I think she would. So I asked her if she wanted to come along. She could either do that or she could hang out with her older sister for the weekend, and she chose to go to Galleria. So we drove halfway Wednesday, but we stopped in Stitchville on the way back because I knew that they're closed on Sundays, and I picked up this one, Cherry Blossom. And I also have my daughter's stash here, so I'll get to their stash because each of them picked up pattern at Stitchville, and then we found fabric at Galleria for each of them. So Yeah, and I also picked up some needles and some floss drops. Yeah, that's what they are. Floss drops. Then we got to Galleria, and then that Thursday the shops opened, and we went to Fabrics by Stephanie, and that's where my daughters found a piece for each of them. So for my youngest daughter, again she's age 11, we picked up Jaded and 18 count Aida for this pattern that we picked up at Stitchville. This is done mostly in overdyes, and so we're just going to pull from my overdyed collection. I had one or two of these colors, so we're going to do that. And then my 16-year-old, she picked up the Henna Mandala by Ink Circles. This is at Stitchville. And then at Galleria we picked up Winter Solstice. This is 36 count. It's her first 36 count, but she's going to do it with this. And then we were able to find from Color and Cotton this color. So imagine it dark background and light foreground. And this is Tusk. So that's the project she's going to start. And so we went to Stephanie's, and then I picked up this one for myself, 36 count Jack's Rum. No idea what I'm going to stitch on this, but I just loved the color. And I opened it up and looked at it, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. So that was the first purchase. Then we went to Rosewood Manor. Oh my word. Karen Kluba is a genius. She just is. And I picked up this one, Bucklebury Sampler. I blame Country Stitchers for this one. Deb. This called for all DMC. This was also a model in the Rosewood Manor room. She had so many models in there. Oh my word. And of course you see the models, you want to do it. And so this one I've been looking for a while, and I have not found it at Stitchville. I keep going through the Rosewood, and I was looking, and here it was at Galleria, so I thought, and then I also picked up this one, Hello Moon. Now Gary from Sunshine Stitchers was in the room when I picked this up, so he had a good laugh. Karen said, I'm not sure if I want to know why Moon is so funny, but it has to do with EJ and a piece that she's been stitching for a while. This was also a model, and it's beautiful. I'm not going to, I'm thinking, I haven't started this one. I'm thinking I'm not going to stitch it on blue though. I have a hand-dyed fabric that I think would look really nice with this. That's all grays. And so these blue colors will look good on the gray. I might have to change a few of the overdyes, but... So, Good Night Moon. So, Good Night Sun, Hello Moon. And then the alphabet. It's all the... It's just cute. It's not huge. It fits on a fat 8, so roughly 13 by 18. So I have to figure that out. But the piece that I did start, and the only reason I started it is I saw the model. And it was just beautiful. And it's this one, Twinkle Twinkle. Now from this picture it doesn't look fabulous, but I was driving home and I thought, you know, if they really did all the saturation and all that to make this look really good, we'd have to pay more for the pattern. So, but she had this as a model there, and she also had a thread pack of the metallics, because it's all metallic. So these are the metallics that are included, and this one, there's a duplicate of that one. But this is the fabric that I chose to stitch it on. I was looking and looking and looking at the various vendors, and I got it from Color and Cotton. And it's 28 count Cashel skinny jeans. And again, it fits perfectly on this size of fabric. And here's where I'm at. When I had to take 2 of my kids to the dentist today, and I had a frog. But that's okay. That's okay. I caught it really early. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to, you know, count up, because I started in the center, and if I wanted to count up, my daughter goes, Mom, just turn back. So then from the center, I can just count down and do this. And I made sure to write on my pattern this side up, so as I'm stitching it, I could figure out what I did. And over here, I wrote stitch upside down, just, you know, because I know myself, and I would forget to do that. So that's just a trick, because when I stitch, this is my top leg, and you know, if I 180 this, that's still my top leg. If I only 90 it, this is my top leg, and it goes the opposite direction of what I typically stitch. But kind of the rule of thumb is you want your stitches to look as even as possible, and sometimes it's not possible because linen has that characteristic of sometimes being very irregular. Cashel linen, in my opinion, acts a lot like an even weave. It's still linen, you'll still get fatter threads periodically and thinner threads, but overall it tends to be a little more even. It is not even weave, but it tends to be a little more even. But that's what I picked up at the Rosewood Manor booth. And then Friday, I went to my friend Karen at Meridian Designs. There's a lot of Karens. And it's in this bag somewhere. I will find it. But I went to Textured Treasures, another Karen. Dudzinski? Celtic Bee. This is stitched on 28 count Jobelin. And the body here is all cross stitch. The wings are satin stitch, and then you outline everything. So if you don't like back stitches, this is not the pattern for you, but I just thought it was beautiful. And yeah, these are DMC colors. This is metallic, but I think it's, or maybe I'm thinking that one. Okay, she had other ones there. She had this one on the wall. This one was absolutely amazing. This, yeah, the picture, yeah. But look at the texture there. Now this calls for 5 pearl, 8 pearl, 12 pearl, various Krennics. I don't think there's any silk floss, or excuse me, silk ribbon in here. I don't think there's any in this. Some of her designs have silk ribbon. This one doesn't. But yeah, this one's really pretty. So I love the texture, and to give you an idea of some of her other patterns. Now she doesn't have a website, but she does have an email address that you can say, hey, I would like to order. So I will put her email address below, and I will also put the number of these two patterns, the Celtic V and the hexagonal option sales. She had some other in that series. And yes, my kids are trying to come in, but I have her catalog in here too. I can show it if I can find it. But she was really nice to talk to, and her husband was also really nice to talk to. So this is kind of her general order form. But there is her contact information and her email. And she said she's in Canada, so for me to order, it would be best to email. So if you want to order something from her, email. As to my knowledge, she does not have a website or an Etsy shop or anything like that. But some of her designs, like this one was in the window, so beautiful. Some things she kits for you, some things you kit for yourself, your choice. This one was amazing. In this colorway, I didn't get that one. I was very tempted. This is what that one looks like in the black and white. It's just beautiful, and she was very, very nice to talk to. So, plug for her shop, Textured Treasures. And then I saw Beth Twist at Heartstring Samplery, and I picked up this pattern, Hibernation Day. It says, I love the snap of winter air and the snowflakes on my face. How snow drifts make the world make the world disappear without a trace. There we go. I'll take a day dressed in pajamas in a room without a view if I can spend the day curled up next to you. Let's have a hibernation day, me and you. It's from 2013. And I was able to pick up I had the mulberry, but I picked up the other fibers at Inspired Needle. And then there's another pattern of hers that Stitchville does not carry that I really wanted, and I ordered it from her, so that'll be coming sometime. And I'll show it when it comes. So I went there, and from Silk Weaver, my daughter, my 16-year-old, picked up this one, Fairy of the Rain. Although she thinks she's going to change it, either put her on red fabric, or change like the ribbon to red or the dress to red. So she likes Joan Elliott patterns, and she likes ink circles. That's her stash. And then, let's see what else I have here. The magic bag over here. Here we go. Meridian Designs, Dreamweaver Enigma. I've already done Dreamweaver Rapture, the one in the green dress, and there's 3 in the series. So now I have 2 of them, and I've finished stitching the one. I should have had Karen sign this. I met Karen in San Antonio, the Mirabilia retreat in 2018. So I met her there, and also at the Color and Cotton booth, I picked up, this is 36 count Cielo or Cielo. This is for Sunrise, because I ordered fabric for Sunrise, but it came and it was too dark. Plus, I also picked up a couple of her lighter colors. So I picked up 3 or 4 of her colors for my daughter to kind of pick from, and she picked Tusk, I believe. And so this is Old Lace and Oyster. So I'll use these in something else. I figured if she didn't use them, I would use them. Shakespeare's Peddler, Teresa. Oh, sweet lady. Very, very sweet lady. She liked the fact that I had my youngest daughter with me, and my youngest daughter did really, really well, which was good, but she had wiggles, so then we'd go shop when she had wiggles. So let's say she's an enabler. She's learning early. But Teresa was so nice to her and talking with her, and gifted her a needle minder, and gifted my oldest daughter, or my older daughter, a needle minder too. So yeah, very sweet person. Jenny Bean's Friendship Sampler, Shakespeare's Peddler. My friend Helena had purchased this one, and I really liked it, so then I found it, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting that. I don't know if we're doing a stitch along or anything like that. I don't know. But this one, the Sweet Temper Sampler, it was either this one or Mary Goodheart, and so I chose this one. And this is, it's charted for all silks. I haven't decided yet. But I have to do her Savior's Praise, and then eventually pick up Mary Goodheart. But she had that as a sample on the wall, and it was just beautiful. So then I went to the Silver Needle to show them my family tree, because they wanted to see somebody stitching family tree according to their website. I brought it. And I picked up this one, Sunnyside Sampler by the Drawn Thread, and this was a model. Just keep on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side, always at the sunny side, and keep on the sunny side of life. And then the alphabet below. But I liked all these little cottages, which would be cute individually, but they're really cute all together. So I saw that as a sample. And then I found a piece that I have been looking for. Stitchville doesn't carry it to my knowledge. It's pricey. So I marked out the price. Heart's Ease Exemplar Works by Teresa Baird. Fiber Talk. Mark it. Those videos are dangerous. This was on my wish list. Delaware Inspiration. She's trying to do 13 original colonies, and this is Delaware's. And I'm not huge into roosters. These are beautiful. They're the blue hen. And then there's specialty stitches in here, and this is kitted for silks, but she also gives you the DMCs. I haven't figured out which one I'm going to do because this thing is huge. It is, let's see, 36 count. The stitching area is almost 13 inches by 17 inches. That's just the stitching, that is not adding border. But I don't think this is the biggest one in that series. So I had to pick up that one, and Silver Needle had it, and I thought, oh, I'll just look. I'm sure they don't have it. They brought it. Free table. My youngest daughter went to the free table, and she found some goodies. She found this one, Sarah's Sampler by Harbor Light Designs. This is part 4. Apparently it was a whole series. And so this is this part down here. I don't like the colors, but I like the rest of it. So you could sub out the colors fairly easily. Also from the free table, Tudor Knot, Scissor, Sheath, and Fob, Nostalgic Needle. I've never done one of these. So that would be something new. Think on these things, imaginating. I have one in a similar style to these, so I thought they would look nice together. This one, I really liked this with the black letters. I mean, this is the same thing, just not filled in, but I liked it. So, yeah, I picked that one up. And Ship's Manor, Old Glory. And then Rosewood Manor, my two ducks, which make a cute Christmas ornament. Friends for All Seasons. And again, this is at the free table. And America the Beautiful. Because, you know, since my son's a Marine now, everything patriotic gets my attention. There was also a freebie at Teresa's booth from Marjorie Massey. So that one's in there. And then Saturday I went back to Rosewood Manor. And I actually looked and looked and looked at the models. Oh, this one was also at the Inspired Needle. Liberty Lane by Abby Rose Designs. Welcome home, Rosewood Manor. Now, there was a lady stitching this in the stitching room, and she let me look at. What I didn't realize when I picked this up is like each, it's how do I want to say it? There's like a circle of just cross stitches, and then inside is an Algerian eye along the whole letters and this whole vase urn, whatever you want to call it. And then there's buttons on here. I have Rosewood Manor's Barnwood buttons stitched with the original buttons, so this would be a nice complementary piece. All the buttons are pricey, but when I'm ready, I'll think about it. And Arise My Soul. This was a beautiful, beautiful model. Not as big as some of her other ones. But she also had baskets as a model on the wall, which I have kitted up. And Crowns of the Kingdom, Keys to the Kingdom, Crowns of the Kingdom. No, Crowns and Crosses to the Kingdom. Oh, I could have stayed in her booth the entire time in Galleria and been perfectly happy. When I got home, this was waiting for me, the Fabric of the Month, Fiberlicious Golden Oak. This is 32 count, and it's a fat 1/8. And I bought one of these to do my Rosewood Manor sunset. I don't remember if I showed this. Caprice, which I have all 5 now, and Garden Prelude. I used to play violin, so yeah, this one was a no-brainer. And then the Christmas ornament issue, which I haven't had the chance of really going through. When it arrived, my little guy, Mini Dot, he kind of went through and pointed out some different ones, but I haven't had a chance to go back through it again. There was one he really liked that I might stitch up for him for a Christmas ornament. Not this year, but some year. It had a reindeer and an elf, I think, or penguin. Oh, yeah, right here. Reindeer and a fox. This little guy here. he really liked that one. And that one is by Lisa Leanne Designs, called Furry Friends. So, I think that's my stitching. No, it's not. Because I have to show you my daughter's stitching. Mom brag moment. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to do part 2 and then do a mom brag. Hold, please. Okay. Mom brag moment. My middle daughter was very diligent in her stitching. She was much more diligent than her mom. But she was stitching on Reflections of New Orleans by Ink Circles. And she finished it. Okay, on the way back, we got a piece of metal in our tire in Iowa, so we had to have a souvenir from Iowa. But they got us in very quickly at the tire shop. But after we came, he had like 15 orders for tires after we walked in the door. So we got in right before the rush, otherwise we had to stay another night, because there's still another 300 miles to home. There was no blowout, or, you know, we weren't in danger in that respect. I just happened to notice it on a potty break, and I'm glad I caught it so early. But she finished it in Tires Plus in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This is 28 count Phoenix. Picture this plus. The fiber is a Karen Collection Wildflower. It is called Hudson Bay, and it's beautiful. So now she can put another one over here, and she's not sure which one she's going to do over there. She likes the Reflection series, and she did pick up another one, and I asked Tracy if she would kindly sign it for her, and she did, because Tracy was there. I don't know if it's in this. Oh, here it is. Wild Side. So she likes this colorway. So we'll see what she picks. This one's smaller than the Reflection series. But she picked up and started, while I was driving, she picked up and started Reflections of Paris, also Ink Circles. And it's not down here right now. Or is it Reflections of Norway? I think it's Reflections of Paris she started, but I don't see it in her bag. She's doing that on Masquerade by Picture This Plus. So she's really good job. My youngest was stitching on this piece, and I don't have the color sheet. It's by Pickle Barrel Designs, and this is where she got to. The pattern, it says, when someone told me I was living in a fantasy land, I nearly fell off my unicorn, because she likes unicorns. And so, yeah, very much her. Oh, and at Stitchville I picked up a unicorn needle minder wearing reading glasses. I don't know if she's stitching or what, but yeah, I picked that up for her because it's a special mother-daughter weekend. She also picked up this one, Meridian Designs, Spring Monarch. There's not a lot of beading in here, which will be good for her, but I don't have fabric for that. And then she was talking with Karen Kluba, and Karen was so sweet to sit there and just talk to her, and Sharon Bishop was talking with her, and Karen McEwen from Meridian Designs, Rush Street Designs, Teresa from Shakespeare's Peddler was talking with her. Yeah, so she made some friends. This one, now Karen has re-released these butterflies, so in the pack you get all 26 letters, because in the wings are the monograms. So the upper wing has the capital letter, the lower wing has the lowercase letter. So you outline it in black. Well, you don't have to use black, but you outline it, and you just fill it in with overdyes. So I got that for her too, to have fun with. And I think that's all my stuff. Plan right now is to get some stitching done. I've taken a couple days off, but I tackled that one again and found my mistake, but that's okay. It wasn't a huge deal. yeah, but do some stitching, maybe do some sewing. I mean, it's getting cooler here. And my youngest daughter always said, Mom, can we come back next year? So I have it on the family calendar. I'll see if it works. It might. It might. And I'll echo those who have said, you know, if you have a chance, go to Galleria. It's a lot of fun gathering with other stitchers. The only complaint I would have is the size of the stitching room. Hotels never estimate that right. So hopefully next year there were so many people, I think they were overwhelmed with how many of us showed up. So, yeah. And we did not stay at the embassy. We stayed at a hotel just across the highway. I'm glad we did. It was nice. It was really nice. But I'll let you guys go. Thank you for watching and liking and subscribing and thumbs up and all of that, and your comments. Love your comments. I'm trying to get better at responding to comments. There's only so much time in the day. Monday I got beat up by my chiropractor, which was a good thing because I needed it. Yesterday I had my eyes checked and I have new glasses on order and, you know, dilated and all that, so everything was fuzzy for hours. Today the dentist for the kids. One of these days, I'll get a chance to breathe. But I'll let you all go. Love to you all.